President.
Senator of Tennessee.
Are we in a quorum call?
We are not.
Thank you, Mr. President. One of the things I noticed about today was it is March the 4th. That means it was exactly 8 months ago that President Trump signed into the law the working families tax cuts. Now, we knew that this was a massive win for the American people. And what we are seeing now, that is beginning to play out. And the American people are realizing what a big win passing this working families tax cut, big, beautiful bill was. One of the things that has come up recently is the $150 billion investment it made in our nation's defense. And certainly we are seeing that in action. It has been vital as our men and women of the military are working day and night to defend our nation from these attacks from the largest state sponsor of terrorism on the face of the earth, and that is Iran. It also provided $170 billion for border security, including funding to complete building the wall on our southern border, building new detention facilities for those that have illegally entered the country and are awaiting deportation, and to make all of this happen, of course, hiring and training more agents. I think it's important to note that since this bill was signed into law, not a single illegal alien has been admitted into our country. Think about that, Mr. President. 4 years, millions of people coming into the country, and heaven knows how many known and unknown gotaways were getting into this country. But now, not one. And this has been especially crucial to maintain our border enforcement as our colleagues across the aisle, the Democrats, continue their push for a partial shutdown of the Department of Homeland Security. When I talk with Tennesseans, the part of the law that they are most excited about is tax cuts, leaving more money in their pocket, sending less money to the federal government. Now, true to its name, the working families tax cuts delivered the largest tax relief for Americans in history, and it prevented a $4 trillion tax hike. Of course, that would have been the largest tax hike ever. So while these provisions went into effect last year, most people are just now beginning to see how this is going to affect them, because we're at the point where everybody's trying to get their information together and fill out their IRS filing for the year. Now, in this law, I was so pleased that my legislation to remove income tax from Social Security for our nation's seniors was included. And every senior that is 65 years of age and older, every single one gets a $6,000 bonus deduction. If it's a couple married filing jointly, their bonus deduction is $12,000. Now, what we know is this eliminates the income tax for 88% of our Social Security recipients. I think this is a matter of fairness. American workers spend a lifetime paying into Social Security. The federal government has that first bite at your paycheck. They take that money out. So why should seniors have to pay tax on that Social Security? it makes absolutely no sense to be taxing taxes. And that's what this provision has done for years. And so by being able to remove this, we know that most seniors are going to see an extra refund of somewhere between $670 and $1,300. So for Americans on fixed incomes, these savings are going to help to pay for medicine, food, gas, groceries, other expenses that they may have. Now, for millions of workers, we've also lowered the taxes on tips and overtime. Americans who go the extra mile deserve to benefit from their hard work, and this provision of no tax on tips or overtime ensures that that is going to happen. With the new tips deduction, single filers will see an average savings of $1,370, and some are going to see savings as much as $5,500. And with the new overtime deduction, the average is estimated at $1,440. So this is delivering historic tax relief and benefits for families. And earlier this year, I had the honor of joining President Trump and Treasury Secretary Bessent for the official summit for the Trump accounts. These are new tax-advantaged accounts that were established in our legislation, and they're going to jumpstart the American dream for millions of children across this country. With the accounts, Americans that are born between 2025 and 2028 are going to be eligible for a $1,000 contribution into their account from the Treasury Department. Parents and grandparents and uncles and aunts who are always struggling with what to get for birthday, Christmas, or special events can contribute up to $5,000 a year into this account until that child turns 18. And we know these values are going to grow tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars by the time that child grows to be an adult. So I think it's so important for those of us that have grandchildren, for those of us that have children, think about what this could mean for those children and grandchildren to be able to have a debt-free college education, or maybe a down payment on a home, or for a child that's truly an entrepreneur, the ability to start a business. We have been so excited about these, and Mr. President, the American people are excited about them too. Already 2 million families have applied for these accounts, and to any of the Tennessee families who are hearing these remarks, I would encourage them to sign up for this. It is IRS Form 4547. Be sure you sign your child up for one of these accounts. Now, it is impossible to list all the savings that are in the working family's tax cut, and there are a few more that are so specific for families. The enhanced child tax credit was made permanent. That's going to benefit 40 million families that are now getting ready to file their federal income tax. We also have a new deduction for interest paid on Made in America new vehicles. You'll be able to deduct the interest on that car payment. Now that is going to yield thousands in potential savings for new car owners. It permanently extends the estate and lifetime gift tax exemption. This is vitally important for people that own family farms, that have generational small businesses. Mr. President, what we've done for these family farms and small businesses is move that estate or death tax exemption up to $15 million per individual. So for a couple that owns a family farm and they want to pass that on, that would be up to a $30 million exemption. It also provides a significant increase to the basic standard deduction and permanently extends the first Trump administration tax cuts for businesses: bonus depreciation, interest expensing, research and development. These are so important because your mom and pop shops that are on Main Street, your small business factories that are in every town across this country, certainly we have many of them in Tennessee. Families want to consider these businesses, but so often they've had to sell the business or sell the farm to pay taxes. So often they end up losing money because interest expensing or bonus depreciation was not permanent or was not there at all. We are looking this year at families seeing an average of $2,600 as a savings on their taxes, and after they reset their deductions, seeing a take-home pay increase of about $10,000 for the year. Our working families' tax cuts are strengthening the buying power of our families. It is strengthening the growth opportunities for our businesses and our communities in Tennessee and across the country. And Mr. President, I think it is important to note, I've laid out all these things that the American people benefit from, but I would remind the chamber, not one single Democrat voted for any of this, not one. So I think that what our colleagues across the aisle will see, Mr. President, as our senior citizens realize they've got a $6,000 bonus deduction, they're going to ask them, why did you vote against this? They're going to ask them, why did you vote against no tax on tips? Why have you voted for higher taxes? Why did you want a $4 trillion tax hike? Those are the questions that the citizens are beginning to ask, and I know that as they learn more about what was included in the Working Families Tax Cut Big Beautiful Bill, they're going to have more questions for our colleagues who were against leaving more money in the pocket of our citizens. I yield the floor and note the absence of a quorum.
Clerk will call the roll.